Aristotle said, "We are what we repeatedly do." Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Time management issues with competing priorities, stress, fatigue, weight gain, poor nutrition, fitness declines. These are all essentially based around bad habits. Unfortunately, when it comes to replacing bad habits with good habits and then backsliding and then having to do it all over again, I become an expert. It's actually embarrassing how much experience I have with having to do this. So I know the difficulties as well as anyone when it comes to kind of getting motivated, getting yourself moving, getting in shape, achieving your goals. I've been there, done that, and got the medal. So in this video, we're going to discuss some of the strategies that I used to lose 45 pounds over the last year, run 5 ultra marathons, and gain my fitness back, and actually become stronger than I was before. Let's get into it. Welcome back. This is John with Motivation Theory Running, and if you are new to this channel, welcome. I'll give you a little bit of background. I spent the last year climbing back out of a dark hole of weight gain, of fitness declines. Wasn't running anymore, wasn't ultra marathon running anymore, and it was extremely depressing. You know, I had to take some time out for my career and family and just to do things that I had to do for work. And it just kind of all culminated into me kind of backsliding out of my fitness, and I was not very happy when it came to that side of my life. But COVID hit and it gave me a great opportunity. It was an opportunity as bad as it was. It gave me an opportunity to kind of fix myself. And so in 2020, I decided I was going to devote to coming back, building my base, losing weight, and getting in shape. And I have documented that entire journey in a playlist that you can click on right here, or it'll be down in the description. I'll list the link to the whole series that I did for the entire year, and you could follow me from day one for the entire year. It's actually kind of interesting. I need to go back and watch it myself to kind of remind myself how much I did last year. I'm pretty proud of it, and it's just kind of cool to kind of go back and look at the progress. So after this video, please make sure you go click on that and kind of catch up. And if you are new here, please make sure you hit that subscribe button and click the like button on this video. It's very much appreciated. It really helps the channel and in letting YouTube know that you enjoy my content, and it will then suggest the videos and the content to more people just like us. So to change your life, anything big in life, you need to be intentional about the things you do to achieve your goals. Day in and day out, you have to never waver. You have to stay on track. That consistency helps build momentum. You also need to kind of mix in some balance in there with life, because life comes at you and you need to have some sort of flexibility. You need to make sure that those that love you and those that are around you are on board and supportive. That way you're not stressed about having to spend time concentrating on yourself, that you have the freedom to be a little bit selfish when it comes to that. So that's that balance part that you need to have in there. And again, accountability is huge. Letting everyone that care about you know what you're working on, how important it is to you, is going to help you be set up for success. And so when I started to lose weight in the beginning of 2020, end of 2019, essentially what I did is I knew that I had to do a couple of different things. The first off was change my diet. I needed to cut out all of the processed junk. I didn't do a really good job of that for a long time in the year. I kind of did a little bit at the beginning and got the momentum going, started building my base very slowly, working in cross training and stretching and weightlifting and kind of modifying my diet here and then. I didn't really pull it all together until the end of 2020, I think. Just the sheer volume of miles that I was running last year. I mean, since the beginning of last year, I've run over 1,500 miles and probably close to 16, somewhere around there. That amount of miles, if you just eat an okay diet, you should be able to lose weight. And that's what happened. But the significant change came at the end of 2020 when I started really trying to really lose the weight I was gaining back, drinking beer, eating fast food. It kind of started to fall apart on me a little bit. I started getting a little too confident, feeling a little too good about myself, putting all that mileage in, and then my appetite was going up, and then I decided it was okay, I'm going to eat whatever I want. Didn't work. It stagnated my weight loss for a long time and actually helped me gain a little bit as we started going to the holidays. So January, I switched to a whole foods, plant-based diet, and within a month, I lost 15 pounds, and I'm feeling great. I've never felt better. I feel super strong, and that has been the thing that has really put the exclamation point on the end of 2020 and got me where I need to be for 2021. So ultimately, it was being very intentional with what I needed to do, recognizing when I was failing and pivoting, attacking, getting myself turned into the right direction. We all fail. We all make mistakes. It's what you do when you make those mistakes that ultimately can define your success in any goal that you've set. So I did that. And that leads me to my first point. You need to make sure that you're not having an all or nothing attitude when it comes to your plan. Now, it's good to be motivated. It's good to be strict about things, but you need to have balance when it comes to setting those goals and being able to pivot. You got to be flexible. So if you have a plan that you're just being super dogmatic about, like you're just stressing yourself out because it says, I got to run 8 today, but I don't have enough time. And then you end up stressing out, and it just, exercising should be fun. Your journey should be fun. It's going to be hard. It shouldn't stress you out. Because as soon as you get stressed out, it's just going to make it harder and harder over time. It's just going to start to build up for you to be successful. Some days it's okay just to get some movement. It could just be a 30-minute walk instead of a run. It's okay. Don't worry about hitting all of the exact mileage and your plans and all of the exact workouts that you're supposed to have. Now, it's not an excuse to not be diligent about being consistent, but don't beat yourself up when it comes to being exactly on point when it comes to hitting every workout perfectly. Give yourself some grace. It's okay. There's going to be days you just don't feel good. There are going to be days that you don't have time. I don't beat myself up. If I have a day where I can't get a workout in, it's okay. It's a rest day, whatever, and I move on. No one workout is going to be the workout that's going to cause you to fail. It's the culmination of continued missed workouts and failure on executing workouts. It's going to be a continuous thing that's going to cause that. It's not going to be one. So just let go of that strict all or nothing type attitude. Just enjoy the ride. It's going to take a long time to get to where you need to go, especially if you're trying to lose weight. Make it fun. Make it fun. Be flexible with yourself. Number 2, mix it up. Mix up your workouts. I wish I would have worked in the cross training much earlier in the year last year. It would have helped me a lot because I got bored. I really did. Going out and running mileage that just was boring to me. I mean, I wanted to go out and run 10, 15, 20 miles and I couldn't do it. And I had to spend a lot of time running low mileage because of my brain. My brain already knew what I had done before, so it was very hard to forget that. So I had to swallow my ego and just kind of deal with it. I wish I would have mixed it up a lot more. I needed that kind of break in my mind to just do different things. That's why I like running out on trails, running different tracks on the trail, different loops around where I live, going out to different places. That will definitely make it more fun. It's gonna and help you be more consistent because you will get burnt out. There's certain loops that I just don't want to run anymore. I'm so tired of running them, and for years I think I started to burn out, and I think that kind of helped lead up to the time that I took off. It was just like everything building up and then just kind of being bored and burnt out with the same old workouts and the running and, training long blocks and then getting to a race and doing the race. And you kind of go through that depression after a race. And the biggest piece of advice there is just have fun with it. Mix it up. It's not that serious. Anything you're doing out there to try to keep yourself mobile, especially if you're not out there trying to win races. If you're just trying to get into running, you're just starting running at any distance, or you're trying to get into ultra marathons, time on your feet is super important, but also is being mentally, being happy, being joyful, being content with what you're doing is super important too. That again, doesn't give you an excuse to not do your workouts, but 1 or 2 here and there, it's okay. And then mix things up and just have a good time with getting back in shape. And the last tip is one I think we've probably all done and not even really thought about it. And that is kind of removing the barriers to movement. So things like wearing your running clothes to bed, sleeping on the couch, setting an alarm up next to you. That way there's no way you can crawl back into bed. It's not super comfortable, but you can get up and get your workout in. Setting the coffee pot next to you downstairs. These are things that I do. Uh, you know, I got to do a lot of things myself. I'm not perfect. I still struggle with this. I spent this whole past year getting used to getting up early to get workouts in. I hate working out in the morning. A couple things I hate. I hate running in the freezing rain, and I hate working out in the morning. I just don't like it. But if I can get myself out the door, I'm okay. If I can get myself out the door, I'm okay. As soon as I start moving, I'm fine. It's that battle between opening your eyes and getting your butt out the door that is the hardest part. And if you can find a way to consistently defeat that, you're going to be successful, because that's where I fail. It's that time period between waking up and getting out the door that is the hardest. So removing all the obstacles, everyone has their tips and tricks. Me is if I have my clothes on or they're right next to me, if I hear the coffee pot, I can smell the coffee pot, it gets me up. I also go over what's going to happen if I don't get the workout in. I just got done saying it's okay to give yourself a little bit of leeway, but I'm not giving myself that leeway anymore. I've gotten in shape, and now it's time to train hard this year. So I'm holding myself accountable. I post all my stuff to Strava. I hold myself accountable there. I'm actually probably going to start finding a way to post my workouts, what I'm actually running ahead of time. That way people can see it, and they can see when you're failure. It's all about accountability. It's super important. But if you can remove those barriers, I think about that. So when I'm laying there, I'm like, if I don't get this 12-miler in, I'm not going to have time later in the day. And that starts to stress me out, and that gets me up. That really invokes a little bit of energy in me. Like, well, I have to get it done now, because especially since my mileage has been going up, I can't just default and do it later in the day, because that's, I could be running for 3 hours, 4 hours, and I can't do that. I got family obligations. I got work. So that helps remove it, that little bit of motivation. And I think about that the night before, and as soon as my eyes open in that morning, it kind of gives me that anxiety, that energy, like, I got to get it done. I can't just lay here. That type of stuff is stuff you need to be doing to get yourself up and out of bed. I know it's hard. I mean, some of you all out there are probably really good about getting up early, and you're excited about it. It's not an issue. I used to be a night runner because I was more comfortable coming down here and cranking out 15 miles at 11 o'clock at night. But that's not always possible. And again, when it goes back to kind of consistency and balance and building momentum, and all of that stuff needs to be taken into account. You need to take into account all the loved ones around you and people that support you. You got to be respectful to them. So do all the things you can do to set yourself up for success. Remove those barriers to movement. Again, remove the all or nothing attitude. Get rid of that. Get momentum going, be consistent, and stay balanced. But get rid of the all or nothing. If you can't get your 8-miler in, 6-miler might be good, or 5-miler. It's okay. Just keep moving. Maybe it's a short walk. Remember, just get something in, get moving, something towards that goal. Mix it up and remove all barriers to movement, and you'll be successful. I know a lot of you are out there searching for the magic pill when it comes to motivation, but I'll give you a little secret. Those of people who talk about motivation also struggle with it. All of us out there have to be intentional with our actions. I've been successful when it comes to getting back into shape many times in my life. It's just what I've done. The way that I am, I have a hard time focusing on a lot of different things. So sometimes in my life, I end up having to hyper focus in one area, and then other areas kind of falter a little bit. And I always have to prioritize, work, family, all of that stuff comes first, and then my activities always end up being the things that suffer. So I've gotten better at balancing them. But understand, we all struggle with it. We all do. Every morning I have to get up. It's a battle for me to go out and run. Some days are easier than others. Some days I'm arguing with myself. I am arguing with myself. And you know what I do? I do the next thing. I walk downstairs. I get my running clothes on. Still not even 100% sure that I'm going out the door. But again, I've told you this before. You can give up a couple of the battles to win the war. Just remember that. It's okay. You might be out the door a little bit late. You're going to get something in. Just Keep fighting, keep moving forward, keep putting one foot in front of the other, and you'll get there. You'll get there. So if you are interested in kind of seeing where I came from in 2020, you can click this playlist right here. It's quite interesting. I'm going to watch it again myself. It's about time I review it. Chronicles a whole year. I did 4 ultramarathons last year. I've already done 1 this year. I got 1 in 2 weeks, and then 1, 4 weeks after that. Got a lot of races this year, guys, so I'm glad you're on board. If you're not subscribed, please click that red subscribe button. Click that bell so you get notifications each and every time I release new content. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.